Someone breaks into your house. You're telling me someone's just broke into your house. They're fucking armed. They're robbing your house. You're gonna jump up naked. What is the first?
Well, what are you gonna do? Sit below the covers? Sorry, mate.
Like,
I can't.
By the time you actually get dressed or like put something on, like
would you not run out of the house?
They're in your house. No.
Would you afraid of tripping over your dick?
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Here's the Craic, the podcast. We're back. We've got an itchy ear. We'll just get straight into this. No freaking about.
No protection.
It's part of my French. It's time to get through to that moment that we all love and admire in this podcast, which is Tommy's question time. Run the intro.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It's Tommy's question time.
So today we've got two questions.
Oh God.
But
Tommy's question time.
I feel like last
Double
week
whammy.
I let myself down. This week I needed.
I think last week we let ourselves down.
But
I thought it was quite funny. Listen back to it.
Just like, what was that?
It was quite droll. There was no energy.
Right, so it's more of a debate. Like, what height is considered small? So if you're a boy, like what height? Because there's this whole thing of like 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm like just under 6 foot.
If he ain't 6 foot.
So if you're not 6 foot, are you considered small? What would you consider small?
I would consider anybody
enough.
below 6 foot small. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like you're only like 1 inch over 6 foot.
I know, but I would still consider anybody under 6 inch, under 6 foot, like. I would still, yeah, like small enough. Like,
so me and Cher are small.
But like I would say for a guy like is 6 foot. What is the average height for a guy?
But did you know that the average height for people applying to be a soldier in World War II was 5'7"?
What?
That was the average
See,
height.
in my head, the way I see it is like I think more people are like 5'10", 5'11", 5'9". You know, like I rarely walk around and feel like I'm small.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can't be small because it's like the average.
I think like 5'7" small, lower than that.
5'7", 5'8".
Because you're into like average girl heights at that, like.
Yeah.
So according to Google,
I think you're small if you're like standing beside girls and you're like,
Yeah.
according to Google, 5'9" is the most like sort of average height for a man.
Yeah.
So in that sense, then you're around average height. It wouldn't necessarily consider you small, like tiny, because like I remember there was ones in my school who were like 5'3", 5'4".
Well, that's obviously before that puberty.
No,
That's
they were
good,
at least in around. They were at least in around 5'5", 5'6".
Ross, first year and second year, you're such a fucking small.
I didn't actually I didn't grow much until after 5th year, to be fair.
But then this is like where you are your tallest. Like in a couple of years, we're going to start shrinking.
Yeah.
Hardly.
That's what happens.
When we're what 20s, like.
Yeah, we're gonna get that.
You get into your after your mid-20s, you start shrinking. Like.
No, you don't.
You do.
Gonna get that Benjamin Button disease.
The only thing
I'm
is-
23, and you're like, oh yeah, when you're 25, you're gonna start getting
maybe
smaller.
close to 30, like.
Maybe close to 60.
No, you actually stop growing once
No
you're.
way.
What is
We
it,
can
18,
begin
21?
shrinking in our as early as our 30s. According to some research, men can gradually lose an inch between the ages of 30 to
We don't
70.
have much to lose. Like we're too small as it is. We're gonna be like small guys then.
But everyone else will start shrinking.
Would you
too, so,
consider
like, it's
yourself
fine.
small? See,
no,
are you?
I
You're this.
wouldn't
Are you?
consider myself small, but I wouldn't consider myself tall either.
Are you?
Like I would never be like, yeah, I'm pretty.
What
small.
height's Bruna?
I'd consider myself tall compared to her. Like,
Are you
Heights?
taller than her? I feel like you measure.
Obviously, how do you not know I'm taller than her?
Because I haven't looked at you side by side and went, you know what? I wonder who's taller.
I know, but
Don't
it's
care.
I
like,
consider us like above average height, but not tall.
Yeah,
But like taller than the average. Like.
yeah.
But I think I look really small because I'm really wide. Like I'm proper fucking wide. If anyone watching this, especially on this wide angles, it looks like I'm twice the width of Tommy.
Yeah, you're like a
Actually,
Dorito.
I'm actually bigger than him. Like
Bigger.
a banshee.
Use me on the bench.
Like, but like what? Like what height are you?
5'11".
5'11".
I think I'm not off 6 foot. A centimetre.
But like, do you not find it funny that anybody who says height always like you've immediately went, I'm just that much off 6 foot? you always benchmark yourself at 6 foot.
'Cause
Like
six-
guys
6
always
foot,
benchmark
6
themselves off
foot
6 foot.
is the benchmark, like.
Yeah. So like,
But
like
I
the
never
question,
look
the
at
question.
you and go, fuck, you're so tall.
See, whereas
Because
like-
he's a scrawny wee fuck.
I know people like I have cousins who are like over 6 foot, and I'd look at them and I'd be like, fuck, you're tall. Like,
see, I worked with a guy who was 6'7". So like in work, I felt quite small. But then like if I was with like
But
if
that's
I
ridiculously tall,
like ones in the Cinda's family would be like, "Oh, you're so tall," and I'm like, I'm not really. Like I'm literally like, again, you're benchmarking off 6 foot. You're like, I'm literally just like 2 inches over 6 foot.
Here's a spin on it. How tall would you like to be, and how tall is too tall?
I would like to be. I'm happy enough for the height I am. To be frank,
I don't think I'd want to be much taller. Maybe 6'2". That's it.
I think if I was 6 on the dot, you'd always be like, I'll maybe take the other 2 inches. Like, but now that I have the other 2 inches, I'm a bit like,
it's not
right,
really
whatever.
something that bothers me though.
I think
Yeah.
I think once you're over like 6'5", you're bridging into fucking weird tall.
But then I also kind of feel for the guys who are like at pubs and all and like trying to pick up girls, and they're like, no, I wouldn't go for him. He's too small.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a proper
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Is it?
My sister's 6 foot, so like
she?
whenever she was growing up, it was always like we always took the piss and
I
was
know,
like,
but that's
oh,
a bit
like
that's a bit difficult. That like
Yeah.
she's 6 foot, and she's like, I wouldn't go with anyone smaller, and you're like, right here, come on, give us a chance. Like.
but it does look.
It looks weird, and then especially like you'd hate to be in one of those couples where you're like the boy and you're sort of like to the girl, oh,
Yeah.
don't be wearing heels, though.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't be doing me like that.
What was your other question?
Oh yeah, this is a more of a discussionary one.
Okay.
So like you see recently, it's been like you see all these like old school black and white photos
Yeah.
getting colour added to them, so what they look like with colour.
Right.
Whereas like in the future, it's gonna be like removing the filter off the photos because there's filters and everything now.
It's just a step backwards
Do you
in
know what I mean?
technology.
You
you
don't
think-
see anything without filters anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And everything's added.
Edited.
Do you know what I've
Yeah.
it started to see now? It's like even Instagram people is posting on Instagram. Like you used to just like you'd be on a night out or something, you get a photo, you post it on Instagram, you maybe use the Instagram filters like. But now people are like going into Lightroom and Photoshop and editing their Instagram photos, and you're just like the effort of it, like.
Yeah.
Like I don't post Instagram photos like well obviously posting here's the crack and all like, but like I don't actually post on my own Instagram that often. But like people, could you be bothered doing that? Like going into
The thing is,
Instagram?
like, if I'm at that stage now where whenever I was younger and Instagram was like the thing, you would have went out and been like, I want a photo. Whereas now I'm older, I'm like, if I head out with you, like if we all head out in a group, like I would kind of be like, not that bothered about getting photos. However, if someone took a photo off me and I was like, that's nice, I'd be like, I must post that, as opposed to the opposite where people are properly like going out and being like, I need to get a photo. There's no point in going out if you don't get a photo.
Have you ever taken a photo on the Instagram camera and posted it?
No.
So
Not
why
directly
do they
through the
bother?
app.
That's the
I know it's a thing to have, like, but why do they even bother?
Me and Bruno were actually talking about this, like, and she was saying, "Oh, it's just so annoying. You like having to get a new outfit because like you can't just wear the same outfit twice because like girls post on Instagram a lot more, whereas like with boys it's like it's so much easier for us because like you could wear the same jeans like in every photo but just change your t-shirt and no one's gonna notice them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like she's saying, like,
But then it's not fair either. Girls can buy dresses for like £5 and that's their whole outfit.
Yeah, but the
Odd
thing,
pair of shoes.
the thing is though, it's like say right if us three were heading to a pub, the same pub, 5 nights like in a row, like literally,
when Ross
you go
finishes
out
uni.
once every 2 months.
Absolutely.
Like 5 nights in a row.
no, like,
Let's
but
go.
when you think about it, like as guys, we have the sort of luxury of literally just being like, I'm just going to change my t-shirt. Like Monday night you wear like a grey shirt, then Tuesday night you wear like a white shirt, then Wednesday night you wear like a check shirt. And you could wear the same jeans and the same shoes, and you could
So
take
true.
5
Same
photos,
boxers,
and they'll
same
all be
socks.
like, look how much like many clothes and all he has. Whereas girls would have to, don't know.
Why is it that you would wear the same jeans all the time and not wash them as frequently, but like you'd wear a t-shirt like once and you'd be like, oh, it's sticking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sweaty armpits.
I know,
Yeah.
but you know, it's just, is anyone else like that? Is that a thing?
Have you ever got to the stage though with jeans where you like look at them and you're like, oh shit, I need to wash these. Like you completely forget about them.
Have you seen that thing on Instagram? And it's like most people are like absolutely amazed. Girls don't wash their bras for like a week.
What?
Like, I thought that was pretty weird because you think it's like underwear.
Yeah.
But like girls can go like a full week without washing their bra. But then I suppose you don't get sweaty
feel like
nips.
we're
Like,
I think we're gonna offend people.
But like,
But like, the way with jeans, I like look at a pair of jeans and I'll be like, well, they're not dirty.
yeah.
Whereas you like sniff a t-shirt and you'd be like, fuck off, rotten. You know.
But then I
whatever.
feel like with outer stuff, like that's not t-shirts, boxers, and socks, it takes someone else to be like. I think like Lucinda would always say to me, like, them jeans look a bit faded, or like them jeans are a bit grubby at the back, and you're like, freaking never even noticed.
Yeah, that's an odd discussion we had. Like, she's like, oh, like I don't really know what to wear and all. And I was like, can you not just wear jeans? I don't really have any jeans. And I'm like, I know you have like 20 pairs of jeans, but she's like, and I was like, what about them jeans? And Brona's like, oh, well, they're faded. And I'm just like, is that a thing? Oh, my jeans. How did jeans fade?
they're buying like new jeans with like a slight colour variation.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can wear those now because I haven't worn those ones before.
That's such like, whereas I've had the same jeans for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
So I go through this process where like you buy jeans for going out, and like I'd wear them a couple of times out, but once they get a wee bit rough, they just become like day-to-day jeans.
yeah.
You know, you'd wear around the town or whatever.
I have a pair of blue skinny jeans, a pair of black skinny jeans, and then them like kind of, Lucinda calls them mum jeans.
oh my god.
They're like the looser ones,
Yeah.
which are kind of like rolled up at the bottom, but like they're comfy. Like I'd
Yeah.
wear them like tracksuit bottoms.
I
Like
think
You'd wear them in for your scan, like, you know,
Yeah.
pregnancy scan. Your 10-week scan.
Oh my god.
But like, yeah, like it's just, I don't know. Then some guys will be like pure, no, I need to wash that. I don't know, I can't wear
That'd be
that.
weird, it's disgusting.
Yeah. But
another
like,
thing is like getting photos on a night out. We were talking about,
Yeah.
and I was like, well,
I haven't
like you're
posted
saying,
them.
no buys. It's like the buys. You don't be like, oh yeah, like we need to get a photo. It'll be like there could be a situation where like, oh, do you want a photo? And you're just like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Whereas like with girls, it's like, yeah,
Like-
it's so awkward then because it's such a big deal. It'll be like you'll be sitting beside
It's
one
all
of
that
your mates,
fucking worst times too.
and the
Like,
girls be like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you should get a photo together, and you're sort of like,
that time, yeah, like I remember the you know the time we went down to Letterkenny, and you were like, I remember you sitting and you were like, you just looked over at Brona and you were like, oh, Brona and Lucinda, like, do you want a photo together? And they were like, yeah, and then about 2 seconds later, Brona like picked up her camera and like pointed it towards me and you were just like,
what have we done?
what have we started?
and then they're always like, oh, take another one. And you're like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to take a quick fucking photo and then
Yeah.
get back to my drink.
Yeah. But then it's always like sometimes like the 20 minutes afterwards it's someone, like, I'm not necessarily pointing towards girls here because I know some guys that do it as well, like, but they like, you take the photo and they're immediately like flicking through and like that's always that excuse, like, oh, someone's blinked, oh, I don't think, but you're always looking at you don't give a shit about anybody
a bit
else.
further back?
Yeah. Can you
That's
just like
what's
go over
annoying.
there?
It's like when you're about in that situation and like you're out with your girlfriend and her mates and all, and it's like there's like 5 of them and they're like, oh, will you take a photo of us? If there's something wrong with one of them and out of the 5, they're like, take that again.
It's a really anxious moment too. Like, I find whenever I'm standing with the camera, the anxiety kicks in. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this
You forget-
douche taking these photos.
You forget
Fucking
how
all
to use
these
a phone
girls.
Do you want to know
Yeah.
the one thing I hate about getting my photo taken is, and I always think this, see, whenever I smile, like there's times where if I properly smiled, my
fuck, I can't
eyes
smile.
close over,
I can't smile at all.
so I kind of look a wee bit,
Yeah, but girls are
Kinda
so used
racist.
to taking photos as well.
do you know what I mean?
Like they're so used to getting photos all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas boys are like once in every few months, like
Oh,
on a
there's
special
some-
occasion, you're
yeah.
like, shit, what do I do here?
But then there's some people as well, like we've came across, like we've talked about this before, we've came across some fellas as well, and like when you go to take a photo of them, it's just like they immediately know their pose, their stance and their
Oh my
smile.
God.
Point at the lad
Have you
next to
seen
you.
the TikToks?
Make sure
Have
you
you
get your arm in.
have you seen these TikToks of like these guys, like like guys who like dress really well? Like I'd like follow guys who are like of
Like the
just pure
shanty
good
lads, like?
style.
The shanty
Well,
boys.
no, not boys like that. More
Sea
like
shanty lads.
streetwear type of people, but they'll be like all poses to do, and it's like all like kick your foot out and all, and like you know those sort of
I've
ones.
seen the boys have started to adopt this fucking one, you know, where the girls sit in the ground in front of a mirror and like have their foot up
Yeah.
to like show off their like sneakers or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen boys started to do this now, and it's the weirdest fucking thing ever. So weird.
And
It's
they've
so
like
odd. like.
names from them. There's ones they're like, oh, like fixing your watch. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, like that shit, and you're like, what?
But then again, you kind of look at it and you're like, for the guys who are kind of want to get into like fashion, like, you know, you have them people on Instagram, like the blokes who are wanting to get into like fashion blog,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there thinking like, you have to do that to promote yourself. So like,
Yeah.
fair play.
There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. Like I just
It's
find
the
it funny.
stigma. It's the stigma behind
But
like.
that's another thing. It's like girls could post like every day on Instagram,
Yeah.
whereas I feel like if a boy was posting on Instagram, like, or I know what I mean, more like girls could post like clothes and outfits and
Yeah.
all, whereas if it was like a boy, you'd be a bit like, I just feel like it'd be like sort of,
You'd be
you'd be like, what are you doing?
You'd be kind of you'd be posting it like if it were you, you'd kind of be like, I don't know if I should do this. Like I've posted something what I've wore yesterday. I don't want to post, but like it's all that thing. It's like you do you, boo. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Live the dream.
But like I enjoy all them pages. Like, or like I think you kind of got me into it with all like the shoes.
Oh yeah,
Like I enjoy
Soul
watching,
Soprano.
like seeing what people are like, guys are like wearing on their feet and all, like every day.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
I like looking at clothes and like shoes especially, like, but myself, I don't think I'd ever have the balls to just be posting every day like
Yeah.
outfits.
No,
Whereas,
fair.
but like I don't really be. I feel like you have to be like want to be like an influencer to do that sort of thing. It just doesn't interest me.
Where do you go these days to wear an outfit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up the hole.
Up the hall. Well,
No, that's what I was going to say to you earlier on. You were just like, oh, you who doesn't go out in like 2 months. Where are we going to go? Have you realised the whole place is shut
I
down?
just
Like,
think it'd be so like.
I'm sitting there thinking, like, here's me, like, nearly out. Like, we went out a fair bit whenever we were at Met. Like, maybe once every 2 weeks, me and you would have went to the pub after Met.
I wouldn't say that.
But like you're like you're getting on as if you're like every Saturday night. You're just like, you know what? We'll go to a nightclub. Like, yeah, dead on.
I just mean like if there was ever a situation where you like the me and Shay, oh we'll go out tonight, and it was a Monday, and we're like right dead on, and then you're like the next day, like, come on, we'll go out again.
I remember there
Or
was a
the next
time
day, you're
like
like,
I am
oh,
kind of
okay.
one of them people where like I like to plan stuff in advance. So like if someone asks me something last minute, chances are I'm gonna be like, nah, probably not.
Yeah.
But like there was one time literally I was sitting at home on a Saturday and one of my mates messaged and was like, will we go to the pub to watch the rugby? And like he's one of them people where he was like, I knew found out that you were probably gonna say like no, and I just literally messaged back and was like, yeah, we'll meet at the castle in like half an hour. And they were like, what? I just appeared out of the mist, like here I am,
That was arrived.
I'm free. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
The last minute plans are the best plans.
Always.
Exactly. Anything strange or starting to happen this week to any of you?
Bad dreams.
Oh yeah.
What do you dream about?
No, well, I have not a
Yeah,
bad
you were
dream. I
talking
think you
about
had a bad dream,
sleep
did you?
paralysis.
Yeah, we're having this discussion. I was on the way up the road and listening to the Dirt Civil podcast, and Tim and Aaron were talking about sleep paralysis, and you actually do think to yourself how weird it is. And then I had said, it's not very often you find people who have it. So I had said to you, and you were kind of like, what? And then I'd said to you, and you were like, yeah, definitely. Like, how often would you?
Definitely.
Why
yeah,
can't you say definitely?
definitely. Don't care.
Definitely.
But like, no, like I would say about twice a month I've experienced it.
I've only ever had it
Oh my
once,
God,
one
that's so
time.
scary. I wouldn't want to sleep with that.
I don't know what causes it. That's something I must Google. But like, what's your experiences with it?
I've only literally one time it happened to me. Never had it before. It was actually only a couple of months ago I had it.
I feel like it's going
It
to
was
happen to me now that you've put it in my head.
It
Yeah.
definitely will, yeah.
Fuck you.
It absolutely will.
I
yeah.
don't want that to happen. Like, I ain't gonna
What do you
proper
hate
mess
more than
with it.
anything?
I don't even want to talk about this because
So-
You hate scary movies, so you're probably like one for like.
I'd probably.
do you
I'll,
like
have,
clowns?
I'll have a heart attack.
Do you like
I'll
clowns?
actually have a heart attack and die.
There's gonna be a
and
clown
it'll be
standing
your
at the bottom
fault.
of your bed.
I don't even.
You do get real bad heart palpitations during it.
So
like.
during
Do
sleep,
you?
Oh fuck,
Yeah.
man.
Do
You'd
you
be
wake
on the
up
verge
in
of a heart
proper
attack.
sweat? Like just
you wake up and you know when you can
Feel like you
feel
pissed
your
over
pulse in
yourself,
your
like.
head. That's how I feel. Like you can feel your pulse, your brain pulsating. It's weird.
Yeah.
But during sleep paralysis, you may feel awake but cannot move, speak, or open your eyes, like someone is in your
You
room.
say like you are
Like,
awake. Though.
yeah, you're awake.
But how can you not? open
Like
your eyes
someone
then?
is pushing you down, or you're because the whole thing about sleep paralysis happens when you cannot move your muscles, but you're waking up or falling asleep.
Yeah.
This is because your body is in sleep mode, but your brain is active. So effectively, you're thinking. However, you're basically vegetated. You're like someone who is genuinely paralyzed, but it's because your body hasn't like went, oh shit, I'm awake here. But a lot of people experience, like I know maybe once or twice I've experienced like it's like a hallucinogenic type thing where you're like you think you see something, but it's like your kind of mind playing tricks on you.
I think a part of the fear during it is that vegetative state where you
It's a
sort of think
vulnerability.
during it, you're like am I ever going to move again?
Yeah, it's the vulnerability. Yeah, it's the vulnerability.
I feel like this is the worst.
Because you
thing
know,
ever.
if you're feeling that experience, you're just like, when am I going to start? What does it feel like to move?
I don't think I would want to sleep after that.
So-
I would be like, nah.
Or
You wake
see,
up
when
so
it happens,
refreshed, though.
when it happens to you,
What?
You wake
Yeah.
up so refreshed.
because your body's just
You're just
immediately
so
like
fucking
adrenaline.
woke, like. It's like you just chugged 6 Red Bulls before you woke up.
But like,
oh my god, this sounds awful.
Aaron McCann basically said that he's had it where it kind of feels like someone's like pulling him up. I've never had that before. However, if I've been lying on my tummy, I feel definitely like there is something behind me that's preventing me from picking my arms up and rising up. The first time it ever happened to me, I was on my back.
So you'd be
And
quite like anxious, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is apparently there's the two main causes of it are apparently sleep deprivation, which I would say, but then
That's
sleep,
probably why I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's stress and anxiety. But then you also have to realize that the two of them are linked, because if you're stressed and you're anxious, chances are you're going to get very little sleep, or very little proper sleep, as in like light sleep. You'll doze off, but then you wake up again because your mind's so
lit.
active. But the first time I ever had it, I literally woke up and genuinely, it feels like you're. Do you know you ever done a 100-meter sprint?
Yeah.
And there's that anticipation where before someone goes 3, 2, 1, go, you can almost feel yourself building the muscle up as if you're about to just burst.
Like the tension.
Yeah, like it almost feels like with how I best describe it is it feels like I'm stretching an elastic band, and then you just get to that point right before it snaps where you're like, and then it snaps and you just like wake up. But I've never really experienced a hallucinogen apart from, but the only thing I can really break it down with is that in the corner of my room there's like, I have a chair where I like sit and if I'm playing PlayStation or something, but like I always have a pile of clothes draped over it. So I thought I saw something dark in the corner of my room, but when I kind of think about it, I'm thinking, was it just the chair? And my brain was like sort of fabricating something that wasn't actually there.
Fuck, I hallucinated the other day coming into the gym. You know that I got the new mirrors up the side?
Yeah.
I walked into the gym the other day. It was a real bright day, and there was no lights on in the gym. And whenever way I opened the door, there was this like long shadowy figure in front of me. But it was whatever the reflection of the mirrors to my right was doing in front of me, but it was reflecting my image in front, like the shadow of my image. And then I fucking like jumped back and fell into the door. I thought I was going to get butt fucked, like.
Oh my
Shitting it. And like I was holding something, I dropped out. It's like proper horror movie shit. Like fell back into the door and was trying to grab the handle, like find
Oh
it.
my god, I hate that.
Couldn't find it, and then fucking like got the door open, and then it copped on. I was like, holy fuck, that's my
I
shadow.
I do that all the time anyway. Like
You
yesterday, like,
hate horror films.
Yesterday, like I was in the flat my own last night, like and I was like watching TV and then here, and then I was like, I'll get in the bed and like watch TV and try and do a bit of work. And I went into the room and I was like, there's no light on, so I was like walking to the bedside table to put the side light on.
Yeah.
And then the door closed behind me and the room was completely dark, and I just went in my head, I was like, what if there's someone in here with me? And then I was like trying to hit the light, I was like fucking trying to find it, and I was like forgetting where the light was, and then I was like, what if it's not switched on at the
James
wall?
Charles.
And I was like proper getting, and then
It's such
The
a
door
scary
slabs,
moment, though,
everything
is
You're
dark.
so like fixated on like making sure you don't take your eyes off it.
I
Like,
always-
you just fucking fuck
Uh-huh.
everything.
Yeah,
else
my
up.
mind always, because I've seen all them TikToks where like it's like you're in a room and then the door shuts and everything goes black, and then it's like something jumps out. But then I seen this one and it's like the door shuts and all you hear is, "Hi sisters!" It's James Charles. You'd be like, "No, fam, I'm away." But like, have you ever experienced, other than sleep paralysis, like anything paranormal? Do you believe in all that?
no.
No, not really. No, I've never really experienced anything like that. I love a good paranormal movie though.
See, you love horror films, and
Yeah,
that freaks me
horror
out. Like I
Yeah.
see,
I'm
what-
on a hunt. If anyone knows any like proper scary horror films, like, send me it in.
You see,
Preferably paranormal.
you see, we were watching Gogglebox the other night, and they were watching the first Paranormal Activity, and
Yeah.
like I find stuff like
Fuck, it
that
was
funny.
Mm.
Like there was a bit in it where literally the covers just like get flicked off, and the girl just like gets dragged out of the bed and like slides out of the
Yeah.
room. But like I was saying this to Lucinda, because Lucinda was sitting there like going like, "Tell me when it's over," and like was like holding the pillow up to her face, and I was
Oh,
like,
was this watching a movie or were you
Yeah.
doing something else?
Oh my
"Oh my god."
god. Just tell me when it's over.
So
Jesus.
we were watching it, and I remember saying like, you see all the Paranormal Activities where it's like we're gonna film in the house, and it's like literally night 19, someone like runs across the hallway, runs into the room, rips the covers off and screams in both your faces, and then it just is like night 20. It's like, why are you still in that house? Sell it, go. Like, if that ever happened to you, would you not just be like, no, I'm away?
I'd love it.
Like, if you have this apartment, if you, like, the first week you and Bruno were in, and literally you heard someone walking up the hallway, would you be back in this apartment again?
I don't know. See, I think
You
it would
wouldn't-
just be like my mind's playing tricks on me. You know? Like, do you ever be sitting in the house on your own and you be like watching TV and you'll hear like a noise and you're like, was that someone in the house or was that the TV? Do you know what I mean? Like, things like that.
But how do you react? Are you fight or flight?
I don't know.
I think a lot of people like to think they're fight, but whenever they're put in the situation, they're fucking
There was
out the fuck.
Yeah.
There was one night I always thought I was fight. Always never consider myself to be like flight, if you know what I mean. But like, there was one night I was in the house alone, and I had someone up with me, and then it was like it was mum and dad were away for like one night, and like we're in the middle of the country, and it was Adam or my sister or something, but like they had left to go home, but like 2 minutes later the front door thumped, like someone just like banged on the front door. I remember like for a couple of seconds I was proper like could feel like pins and needles all over me. I was like, oh my god, I need to go, like someone's trying to get in the house. And then
It's
like
actually just the
someone
postman trying
rapped
to
the
leave off a
window,
letter.
and it was like someone come over me, and I was just like, would you F off there? Like, as if a ghost's gonna be like, sorry fam.
I think everyone would be, a lot of people would be flight. Like, if you're lying in bed naked, like, and like someone breaks into, why is that funny?
But
If you're in bed
things you can
naked, like, and someone breaks into your house, you're telling me someone's just broke into your house, they're fucking armed, they're robbing your house, you're gonna jump up naked, like, what is the first
Well,
thing
what are you gonna do? Sit below the covers?
I
Sorry,
know,
mate.
but, like,
I can't.
by the time you actually get dressed or like put something on, like,
Would you not
they're
run out of the house
they're in
naked?
your house. No.
Would you afraid
Lad.
tripping over your dick?
But like,
Lad.
honestly,
Honestly, lad,
like, you
if
think of this
someone came
situation-
in through the back door of this apartment and you were sitting there with your dick out in your bed, right? It
What
would
do you
not
mean?
cost me 2 seconds if he came through. If I walked out of the room butt naked, saw him a couple of feet down the hallway, I would be out in the middle of that street, run to hell's blazes. It wouldn't cost me. Would I far rather run down that street butt naked and explain to someone, listen, I'm sorry I'm naked, but there's a guy with a knife trying to chop my head off. Oh yeah,
But you're so vulnerable, like. That's like what like. Right,
you're
so what-
vulnerable whenever someone's
what
holding
would
a
you-
knife
so
to
you're
you.
saying if someone just broke into this flat, like, you would just straight up be like naked out the door.
Yeah.
What would you do?
See, it's hard to say.
I think in
Humans,
my head,
humans
I'm
are
thinking-
literally programmed to protect themselves. Humans are literally programmed to, like, if someone came at you with a gun, the first thing you're going to do is run.
I don't
Most
know.
likely.
I know, but you don't know what he.
What are you going to do? Fight a man with a knife with your dick
I
out?
know, but you don't know. That's why I'm saying get dressed. Like.
Oh yeah, dead
You'd
on.
be throwing
Here,
some
mate.
sort of clothing
Yeah.
on you. You'd be throwing some sort of clothing on you. trying
And
to
what's
get
he
you-
doing? Waiting
so
for you?
you're saying you're going to run barefoot down the street in Belfast. Like.
It's
So-
the situation too, though, because like, say you're up in your room upstairs,
think you've lost
you
the
have to
battle.
think. If you hear someone downstairs, you have to think. If I want to get out of this house, I have to go past him.
But see, that's such a different scenario.
Yeah, but
then
that's what I
you're-
mean. It's the
In my
scenario too.
head,
You have
if
to
you
think
were
about the
trying to get
scenario.
away, the first thing, if someone's downstairs, I would be like, get dressed.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then I'd be thinking, right, I'm only a floor up here, probably going to jump out the window.
But
I
risk
wouldn't be
breaking
like-
your leg
the-
and not
no,
being able
right.
to run away.
One story up. You live in a 2-story house. Do you think if you're jumping out the window of your house, I think you're a bedroom?
If you're the wrong way,
gonna
I
break
If
your
I
legs,
heard
like-
if I heard someone bust
Unless
through the
you're-
door and I was in the top floor, the first thing I would do would be to throw clothes on me, throw shoes on me, jump out the window and run to hell's blazes. But at the same time, what are you trying to say? Like, if someone broke into this flat, like, this flat's pretty small, do you think he's gonna, like, you're saying, oh, I want to get dressed?
I
Like,
want
what-
to do my makeup
like,
here and
that's
do my
what-
hair.
what's he gonna
In a
do?
flat,
Come in
is it?
through the door with a knife and you're just gonna go, mate, hold on here. You get my boxers and my shoes on. No, he's gonna stab you. So that's your point where you
I'm just
literally
saying-
you flash him, surprise him with the. sh-
Swing your laugh here.
just with a 360 no scope and smack him across the face. He'd be like, what, dazed? But like, do you know what I mean? Like, what you're trying to say there makes no sense.
What do you mean? I'm just trying to think what would be your thought process. Like you're saying about fight or flight. Like. Or fight or flight, sorry.
I think in my head, if I heard someone break in downstairs and you were upstairs, I think your first reaction would be, "Frig, I need to get some clothes on and get going." However, if you're in if you're in a place like this where it's one floor and someone breaks in through your back door,
But you wouldn't be running.
Would you like leave Lucinda
I
lying
would-
in the bed or whatever? Or on the
You'd be
fuck like?
going naked just down the street in Ballymena.
but like,
Lucinda lying there getting stabbed. Like.
And it's just
Sorry, they got away
and
though.
it's just your dog coming in,
like,
and you're like
Yeah.
running down the street in Ballymena with no clothes on.
but like, you have to think about it. Like, what are you gonna
It
do?
depends on
Like,
your surroundings
swallow?
as well.
Like, oh no, I can't. Sorry, mate, I can't actually run into the street butt naked. So
Like,
I'm just gonna let
if
you,
you change-
literally
I feel like
slit
as
my
well,
throat.
Like a lot of people would think if they were like mugged, like in person, if someone like came up to them and had like a gun, they'd be like, "Yeah, I'd be able to handle
You
myself."
absolutely would not.
Whereas in reality, you're gonna just freeze and be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's a different like fight or flight scenario. I think there'd be a lot of people thinking, I'd fancy myself. Like, you know the
Yeah,
way you'd see
no.
in like film, someone just grabs the gun
Does
and like
the-
fucking like
Yeah.
John Wick
It's
shit.
like how
like.
to save yourself from a gun attack in 5 seconds.
Whereas like
That's
someone
not
puts a
gonna
gun
happen,
in your face, it could have absolutely no bullets on it. It could be a water gun. You're gonna be like,
Mm.
oh shit.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't toy with death just for the sake of a wallet. Like, you'd be like, I hear dead on.
I think you'd definitely be flight the
Mm.
majority of the time.
Yeah.
I guess the best thing to do is always to get the distance first and then
Yeah.
assess the
And then assess
situation.
the
But with a
situation
gun,
from
like
afar.
you're
like.
just, you could be as far
No, but
as
if
you
you see they have a gun, you're way on the fuck. Like,
what is it like? Is I can't remember where I've heard this, but it's like someone says that if it's someone with a gun, like try and get as close to them as possible, like just run into them, if you know what I mean. Whereas if it's a knife run,
it's not fucking Call of Duty where it's hard to
I know,
shoot
but
someone
like if
whenever
you
you're
think of it,
great
like if
off.
someone's pointing a gun at you, right, you're not gonna run. Like no matter where you run,
It's like this. If you
Well,
go
no
right
matter
up to
where
him and
you-
he's holding his gun like this, if you can get underneath his hand, he can't shoot
I
you
know, but
because you're too
if
close.
it's close contact, like think
Sneak
if it's
attack.
close contact, like I suppose if you sort of like duck and like try and move in,
Bullets come out.
like, he's not. Whereas like if he's a knife,
I can
if you
imagine.
just run into him, it's just gonna go into you. If you know
I
what
can
mean.
imagine your Call of Duty instincts, and you'd be like you'd be
Just
like
slide.
running and sliding. You'd be like proper Nick Merckx, put distance
you see-
between you and your opponent.
In Call of Duty, like you're running and sliding on concrete, whereas in real life you've just like running, just fell on your knees, like because you're not sliding on concrete. Like. Do you know what I mean?
Sliding straight
You'd be
to the
running
centre,
down,
like.
changing from your primary to your second. But-
Change it from your phone to your keys.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, oh, surprise the enemy. Ducking and shit. Hiding behind rocks.
Where's-
Shielding up.
Where's my shoes?
But
Putting the
Fortnite, like
plates in.
Fortnite, I've no
God.
mats. I have no mats.
Aye.
What do I do? I left my fucking wood at home. I can't throw down a wall.
You sitting with your pencil and paper ready to build.
But like-
Just the blue paper and
Blueprints.
the pencil. Why is there no walls going up in front of me?
Oh my god.
What is this wand here? This
I
is
know.
ridiculous.
Well, how did we segue from paranormal stuff to? But like, do you want to know? Coming back to that, what the one thing that really creeps me out, the movie scene that really creeps me out is, I think it's The Conjuring.
Right.
Is that the one with the nun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's one scene where like it's the guy, and then behind him is this like black and red figure. It kind of looks like Darth Maul off
That's
of.
the Conjuring, yeah.
Off of.
We're sitting at the dinner table.
Yeah,
and
they're sitting at the
over
dinner
shoulder.
table.
That's like one of the first ever times they've done like a daytime jump scene. Like, you know, that it's always wait the night.
Yeah, that's it there. So like he's at the table, and this demon thing just
Yeah.
appears behind him.
See, that doesn't even look scary, you know?
But like what? And then you've got the nun as well. You remember the nun?
Was it the Conjuring?
Yeah, Conjuring
Oh,
has.
there's a Conjuring, but I can't remember if the nun was a Conjuring.
Yeah, nun.
No.
She's a creepy.
See, that's scary, you know?
That's creepy, man. Like, it's that scene where is it the girl? She's like, "Who's that, mum? Who's that woman?" And then you look down, and it's just the nun standing at the bottom of the hallway. And then she just like walks away, and then they're just like, "You know what we should do? Walk after her." No, you shouldn't. go.
Horror movie logic.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I seen this thing the other day, and it was a TikTok, and it was like one of them Ring doorbells,
Yeah.
but it was videoing the dad out in the porch, and this big massive gunshot happened, and the wee kid just like runs out and like, "Dad, what was that?" And he was like, "I don't know, and I don't want to know. So get your ass back inside." And I was like, "Dad, can we look out the window?" And it's just the dad going like, "Have you seen any horror movies? That's like how everyone gets killed. Get your ass inside." And you're like, "Yeah, fair enough."
That's so true.
But I like see like the likes of Women in Black, or like some of the Conjuring, like the jump, like not really that, but like Paranormal Activity, like the stuff where like people are getting like dragged out of bed and stuff. There's some of that stuff like doesn't faze me. Like I find that quite like funny. But you see when you get into that sort of demonic stuff, that freaks me out. No thanks.
That's what I love.
See, like I feel like you have to be a certain sort of stomach to do that. Like, but fair enough.
I will not watch a horror movie unless it's paranormal, because it's just not worth it.
Fair enough. Well, we filled about 40 minutes there, so maybe end that there. Let us know in the comment section or send us a message. I would actually love an episode where if we could get a few people to send us like voice notes on like if they've had any paranormal experiences, anything freaky, because I feel like that would really, I think you'd be interested in that.
Yeah. Send us a wee DM.
Yeah, send us a DM.
I'd sit in a dark room and just listen to them.
Or if you have any funny stories or anything,
Yeah. Let us know.
shoot us a DM and we'll play it live on Here's the Craic.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the next episode.